Hello everyone, I'm Paul McGuire Grimes. Brad Pitt earned rave reviews earlier this year for his performance in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. The same can be said for Ad Astra, which is now in theaters, and I want to talk about it. This is Paul's trip to the movies. In the new film Ad Astra, Brad Pitt plays Roy McBride. He is this renowned astronaut working for NASA. His father, played by Tommy Lee Jones, was also an astronaut but went missing decades prior. News is spreading within NASA that there are solar rays coming from Neptune causing power surges on Earth. They believe that this may be a sign that Roy's father may still be alive. The film also stars Donald Sutherland, Ruth Negga, and Kimberly Elise. Ad Astra is directed by James Gray, who co-wrote it with Ethan Gross. Now, at the beginning of the film, we learn that it's the near future, a time of hope and conflict. NASA and space exploration are already more advanced than the current state in real life. There are extensive space stations on both the Moon and Mars, making them somewhat habitable places. Now, I say this as a warning for you to go in with an open mind. This isn't a film about modern-day space realism. There are lofty concepts from the beginning, as well as some really tangible realities within this world that James Gray has created. One of them is this action sequence that we see on the moon between a NASA rover and some astronauts who have gone rogue. James Gray is less concerned about the specific science involved, and instead using the moon, Mars, and Neptune as set pieces for a really intimate and complicated father-son story. It has the futuristic look of Blade Runner or 2001: A Space Odyssey, but with this kind of Terrence Malick vibe to it. It's gorgeously shot by Hoyt van Hoytema, who also worked on Interstellar, and it comes with a really kind of simple but effective production design by Kevin Thompson. Now, the relationship between Roy and his father was cut short, and we see how decades of the unknown has really taken its emotional toll on Roy. There's anger and resentment with Roy as we realize that his father essentially chose space and the unknown over his family. The public and the media love and cherish his father's work, but there is this other side to the story. We also see Roy wrestle with if he's wanted for his own accomplishments and his work ethic, or for being the son of Clifford McBride. Now, as Roy, Brad Pitt gives one of the best performances of his career. It's a deeply internalized performance, but one where we can see and know everything he's feeling just by looking in his eyes. He has to carry quite a bit of this film on his own, not only physically on screen, but also by his voiceover narration, detailing all of the inner thoughts and struggles he has with what's going on. Now, I think too often the public takes Brad Pitt for granted as this kind of good-looking heartthrob, but his film choices and the depths that he'll go to with certain characters remind you of the quiet power he can have over any story. There's this really singular focus in Ad Astra as Roy confronts the relationship that he had with his father. Writer-director James Gray, really seems to ask us how long a person should suffer for the sins of their father before they and others can move on. Roy has this personal and professional mission at hand, and there are fatal consequences along the way with the choices that he makes. Now, with this, the film has a bit of a slower pace. It's a story that kind of floats around, not always sure of where it's going. The audience doesn't really even get to know a lot of the supporting characters, but this really fits into Roy's uncertain state of mind. Now, Ad Astra may not be as crowd-pleasing as, say, The Martian, but one that shouldn't be missed on a massive movie theater screen with a really immersive sound. I'm giving it 4.5 out of 5 ticket stubs. If you like my review today, click subscribe on my YouTube channel. I have my fall movie preview as well as my review of Downton Abbey. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Paul's Movie Trip. And then go to my website, paulstriptothemovies.com, for even more reviews. Thank you so much for watching my review of Ad Astra. This is Paul's Trip to the Movies.